welcome to KIRKY'S kitchen. So today we're going to be looking at different vegetable cuts and how to improve your knife skills. So you're going to be given one of these, which is a laminated sheet, and you're going to use a board pen to put your name here, and then we're going to do these 4 different vegetable cuts, which I'm going to talk through as we go. So you're going to need that. You're going to need a bowl to put your waste in. You're going to need a chef's knife. You're going to need a mat to hold your chopping board in place, and this will stop it from moving, and obviously a chopping board. So once you've got your mat down, it will hold your chopping board in place. And then you're going to get a carrot. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to top and tail your carrot. So with your fingers out of the way, take off both ends of your carrots and put that in the bin. With your knife, make sure that you don't put your knife on the edge of the table when you're not using it. Make sure you put it at the side or at the front, out of the way. And then with your carrot, you're just going to cut it in half into 2 pieces, like that. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is, with your carrot, hold it with the claw, and you're just going to chop off a side, like that. That's going to be waste. And then you'll turn it and you'll have a solid base to work on so it won't rock. And then you're going to go round and do this to all your 4 sides to make a rectangle. Pop your waste in the waste bin, and then here you've got a rectangle, and it won't rock when you're working with it. And then you're going to do exactly the same with your other piece of carrot. So using the claw and your hand out the way. See how my hand is out of the way and my thumb is out of the way? And you're going to go round and take off the sides. Exactly the same, so you've got a nice rectangle. And then waste in there. Okay, so the first cut we're going to do is batons. So with your carrot, you're literally just going to cut it in half, so you've got the bridge. So you've got 2 sections like that, and depending on the size of your carrot, you want them to be the same size. So with this, I'm not going to do it in 2, I'm going to do it in 3. So you want them to be the same size round, depending how big your carrot is. So 1. So there we go. So these are batons, and they should be all the same size. So with some of your batons, you're just going to put them here. Okay, your next step is to make the Macedoine. So with your batons, you're going to hold them together like this, and this is where you're going to make them into the right size square. So what you're going to do is, with your knife, you're going to put your tip on the board, so it doesn't move the board. You're going to have the claw grip, make sure they're even, and then you're going to move it forwards, and you want to make them the same width as depth. So you're going to chop like that, and then with your knife, your tip should always be on the board. Back down, and you can see how I'm gently seesawing and rocking. And here is your Macedoine cut. So there you go, you've got 2 types of cuts already. So here you go, you've got your batons and your Macedoine cut. Okay, with your next piece of carrot, you're going to do the Julienne cut. So with this, you're going to do exactly the same. You're going to cut it in half. Depending how thick your carrot is, you might need to cut it into 3 bits. And then you're going to cut it in half again. So you've got your batons, like that. And then with your batons, you're going to cut these in half again. In half again. Can you see how I'm using the bridge to cut in between? So that was 1 baton that has been made into 4. So you're going to cut it in half and then in half again. So you can either use the claw or the bridge to cut this. So you're turning a baton into 4. So cut in half and then cut in half again. Making sure that your fingers are out of the way the whole time. And the reason you're using the claw is because if you were to slip, it would hit your nail instead of the end of your finger. So your fingers have always got to be down, so it will slide down your finger. Okay, so here we go. This is the Julienne cut. So we're going to take a couple of these and put them on your Julienne. And these are 1/4 of the size of your baton. Okay, next you're going to take some of your Julienne, not loads because it's a bit harder to work with, they're smaller, and you're going to do exactly the same but a lot smaller. So with your knife, you're going to put the point of your knife on the chopping board and you're going to rock. So with your knife it stays in the same place, and then you move the carrots forwards. So can you see how I'm rocking? And I'm always keeping my fingers out of the way, and I'm just keeping my knife with contact on the board so it doesn't get in the way. And there is your Brunoise cut. I will show you this way as well. So here with your knife end on the chopping board, and you holding these together, and you're just going to move them forwards. You keep the knife in the same place, but you move your carrots forwards and you just rock back and forth. You don't want to hear, when you're doing your carrots, I don't want to hear, you want to not hear any noise, it wants to gently rock to cut them. Okay, so here are your Brunoise cuts, and these are made from your Julienne cuts. So here you have your 4 different cuts, and these would be used for different things. So you might use your batons as a side for your main meal. The same, you might use this for like a stir fry or a vegetable dish to go in. And these ones as well you might put in your stew, or you might have again as a side dish. And your Brunoise, these ones are diced really small to go into like soups or into rice dishes. So you've got different cuts, and these are your basics for chopping and knife skills as well. And you can use these on loads of different types of vegetables and potatoes.